before that we had Gen Alpha, sorry, and then before that Gen Z. Millennials.
Yes,
We are still alive.
And we are in a market where we have not even decoded Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
Technology is changing so much. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Echofied, brought to you by Unbound Slate. Where in today's episode we're going to unravel a lot of mysteries, how consumer perceptions are going to change, how brand marketing is going to change, how technology is going to change, and whatnot. I'm Arvind.
And I'm Parvati, and we are going to talk about something that is happening right now.
Okay.
And it's about Gen Beta.
Oh, okay. What exactly is Gen Beta?
Yeah, so Gen Beta is a generation, right?
Okay.
The Gen Beta thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know which generation we are?
Okay, that's maybe we fall under millennials.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Supposed to be the
golden age. Golden age, okay. So what is Gen Beta? Are they the diamond age? What is it? What is it exactly?
They are the ones who are just born now, that is Jan 1st, 2025 till 2039. So that generation years is called as Gen Beta. So before that we had Gen C, right? Before that we had Gen Alpha, and then before that Gen Z. Millennials,
yes.
We are still alive.
And we are in a market where we have not even decoded Gen Z, right? Technology is changing so much. The way data is there, it's changing. Data is conceived, data is perceived. Everything is changing so rapidly, right? So how do you think brands will look at Gen Beta?
I would say Gen Beta will be it's like seeing a science fiction for me, because Gen, we say we said Gen C still we have, it's known as a tough generation.
Yeah.
Because they have so many issues. People find them very difficult to handle in workplace, and they come up with they are the classic proponents of this mental
health
traumas
awareness.
and childhood traumas. Not that as if we didn't have any traumas, but then So and Gen Alpha is the one that's born into the tech world. So that itself is a huge difference. And then now you are going to have a generation of betas, wherein that's like too much tech. I don't know how to even do a classification and say that they'll be superior. Obviously they'll be superior than Gen Alpha, but they will be in a super tech age, like a science fiction thing. Like we are the ones who we saw right the time before the internet, and right now. So we know the world. Like there was two ages.
True.
But now if we ask a Gen Alpha, about what is happening and what they think, they don't know a time before internet.
True, they don't.
They don't know landline phones. It's they can't imagine that there was only one telephone and everyone used that phone.
Makes sense, yeah.
So from that place we are going into an extreme generation where I don't know. I mean, when you say that, maybe they'll be I'm thinking of max to max vacationing in some places with another country to max what I can think of, but maybe they'll be vacationing in Mars or some other places. So
Okay. So most of the business leaders or world leaders are talking about Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
You were saying there's Gen Alpha after that, and there's Gen Beta after that, right? So how do brands and how do companies stay afloat in such a scenario, right? Let's say a traditional brand like Nestle, right? Or any Unilever. How do they stay afloat in such a changing market? So now we've started using ChatGPT, right? Gen Alpha will grow with ChatGPT. They will have ChatGPT in their classes maybe. And Gen Beta would have maybe a personalized AI assistant to go.
Obviously.
So how do brands keep up with all that?
It's always staying relevant. That's what, you need to stay relevant to what is happening to each generation. Even though we say that, okay, Gen Alpha is different in certain aspects, Gen Z, millennials, we are different. We are like, I don't know. I can't.
That's okay. Let's not go there.
Let's not go to us. Too sensitive topic.
We stick with Gen Z and Gen Beta and keep Gen Alpha in between. Okay.
So, So, but then I would say the innate needs and wants are always the same.
Always the same, yeah. It's going to be more AI based and tech based and maybe virtual reality based, right? Where we had none of these things. So we had nature maybe, right?
So what I'm saying is that our innate thing as psychological beings, humans, and our psychological needs are always the same. But then because we have a difference in context of how different our environmental triggers, that's like the technology, the environment, how industry is going to change, how the economy is going to shape. So because of that, we'll have some differences. So as brands, what we can do is that stay relevant to those changes. For example, maybe a Gen Beta will be having a hologram babysitter or a nanny to take care of. And, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary friend, playing with that.
That might not be imaginary any longer now.
May not be imaginary any longer. So you'll have an actual hologram buddy to be there. So, or a small robot to be there. So, that difference will be there, but I believe strongly that innate needs and wants still remains the same. So we need to be relevant to them. And we need to talk their language.
Understood. Understood.
So,
okay.
You cannot, talk like you're talking to a boomer generation or a millennial generation anymore. You need to talk the language of a Gen Alpha or a Gen Beta. In another, because they so Gen Beta belongs to the parents of Gen Beta are typically millennials and bit of Gen Z.
Gen Z also, yes. Gen Z also, yes.
So the parents are like that. So if you look at millennial parents, sorry, I might be biased, but I would say we are such more grounded.
Okay.
we have seen things. We saw 9/11, we saw tsunami, we saw pandemic.
True.
What not? So most traumatic generations ever had. But then when you look at Gen Z, they have their own struggles coming up. So when you compare the parenthood and the bringing up of Gen Beta, all those traits gets translated into how Gen Beta sees consumerism. So the way they consume will be also different. So maybe you can say that there will be so much of hype towards sustainability. I don't know. I'm just giving a wild guess.
So before we go into consumerism, what do you think will be the actual impact on the economy? Gen Beta's impact on the economy. So, because that is, once the economy is impacted, then it goes into consumerism as well, right? So what is the actual impact on economy?
So I think we'll go into more of gig economy 3.0 or something like that.
Gig workforce 3.0, right?
So something wherein people are not looking nowadays to move so much into the career. There's a difference in how we look at a career.
They're not looking at jobs which give them stability.
Stability, exactly. It's looking for something that gives them a kick, and then you are making money for the next vacation.
True. Or the ability to work from the mountains or work from the beach.
Because the basic reason is that we believed traditionally, I don't know whether you remember, we have studied that Maslow's hierarchy of needs triangle, right? So basically we say that we have that basic needs as a shelter, food and security thing, and then it goes up, and then later stage is awareness, self-awareness. But so we strive to go from one lower to the top of the triangle. But when we look at now, the basic needs are always met by our parents. Even for us, we are not looking for security or home.
There's always a roof above our heads.
There's always. So because those needs were already met by our parents for us, so we don't have to struggle to create a household or strive for food or security or basic things. So we'll step up one level above that. So our needs have changed a bit, because it was already attained by our parents. So similarly, when we go from generation to generation, there are changes. So nobody is looking for, if you ask me, Gen Beta, I won't think that they want to have a house anymore. It's like a liability.
True.
Right. Yeah. So they need something that gives them instant gratification, and then they want an experience, an adventure through their life. So that's what I would say. So how obviously that will redefine the entire workforce of how you see work economy as such.
And then jobs will also change to more of maybe where a human touch is needed, right? Emotional quotient is needed.
Yes.
Which is why I believe EQ is going to be a big component, right? EQ.
Exactly.
Gen Beta should have the ability to, get a good EQ score per se, right? Rather than just having a tech or knowledge score.
Knowledge score, exactly. Because most of the things get automated. You have your AI assistants to do things. Nowadays, you can get anything done, even now, right? Yeah. So we are talking about something that is going to happen in, let's say, 15 to 20 years. Yeah. So you have everything can be automated. So what is exactly can we give? Or what you can give, what difference can you make out in the world? So it's about your own personal creative things, touch, qualities, how obviously your emotional quotient. Can you try to, once you lose a human touch, there's no point in hiring a person, right?
So everyone in Gen Beta should be actually taught more than to sit in classrooms like how we were taught, right? 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 3, and what is the capital of UK? What is the capital of USA? What is the capital of this state, this country? Instead of all that, people would move. The education system would also move accordingly, right? So that adaptiveness needs to come into place. What I believe.
Yes, I would also believe that there will be changes, because all those things can be always. It's like one click away, right? Even for now, it's just one click, you can get everything in your phone. So I in Gen Beta thing, you can just maybe ask your virtual friend, what is it? And I think it'll be almost, even now we have virtual classrooms, it'll be going entire virtual system of classrooms. Education might change, the entire mindset, but we should change. That's what the society should also change accordingly. Only then that transition can happen.
Understood. Yeah. Now going into consumerism, right? Like you just started off talking. Consumerism is also going to change, right? People are no longer going to use calculators. Geometry boxes, which are the big things for us in the millennial world. We had the divider, we had the compass, and we were supposed to take, let's say, 5-inch radius and draw a proper circle. None of that is happening, right? Gen Beta.
Seriously, no, that's not happening in school right now.
I don't see compass box anywhere, right? I mean, Gen Beta would definitely move to a touch platform, maybe.
Yeah.
They would have, Mac or book or tablets. And they just draw a circle of 5-inch radius for me. And the AI will draw it and give it to them.
Give it to them.
Right?
Yeah.
So consumerism is changing.
Yeah.
Okay? So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think? How do you perceive consumerism in Gen Beta world?
I would say that personally I would find it very exciting, because I would really like to think or see how these kids see things. It will be very interesting, because the way we see things, we'll think twice. Should I get this? Should I not get this?
Should I go somewhere?
Should I not go somewhere? Not go somewhere? Yeah. But I don't think these kind of thought process will be there with a Gen Beta kid, because they will be obviously very smart and superior generation. Because we were adapted to this. They don't need that adaptation. They're born into it. Right? We were taught.
So are we going to see a set of superhumans soon? Maybe after Gen Beta.
Maybe after Gen Beta. I'm saying that we were taught of virtual reality, artificial intelligence, right? They are born into it. It's like a natural thing to the thing. So there's a huge difference. And that delta difference is, I would say, exponentially huge. So they're really obviously a superior generation. And when they see certain things, I don't think thought process itself will be entirely different. So maybe how you create advertisement, that's what was coming to my mind. What will be appealing to them? That's a question which I find very interesting. What appeals to a Gen Beta? So how can we change that? No, we need to just stay relevant to that generation too. So once that generation comes up, they will become obviously a superior generation. So how can a brand stay relevant to them? What can we do? So those things are still a question mark, because
so it would maybe move into something like augmented reality, where we have started augmented reality, but all ads might evolve into augmented reality, where you can touch and feel things, where you can see things. Holograms might come into play. Your traditional billboards will change to moving billboards, right? You will have maybe where you have animation movies within the billboards. It will be an LED screen, LCD screen, stuff like that will happen.
Definitely.
Right. So I see a lot of ads wherein Nike does this 3D based advertisement billboards, right? 3D based billboards. I think that is where we're going, right? That's what might appeal to them, in the sense that, having rather a 2D advertisement might move into 3D advertisements.
Definitely it has reached 3D admit. So I would say that we'll go more into those kind of aspects. Maybe they don't have to, the ads might, you don't have to go to a space to see the ad. So the ads will come to your own home. So I don't know, I'm just giving a wild guess. It can be things
you have technology rapidly evolving. So I was seeing one thing where BYD car was being built that could jump portholes. So that's like literally luxury at your inside your car. You just have to sit and it's jumping over portholes for you, right? So Gen Beta kids are not even experiencing the trauma of road travel that you face in India. They're not even experiencing that, right? That car comes here, you keep jumping the portholes, you go. There is no trauma of road travel anymore.
I mean, if you drive that car in India, you'll be always jumping.
But again, see, they're not going to face the trauma. Right? So it's going to be cleaner, smoother rides for them. They might be sitting wearing a VR goggles in the car, driving it like a virtual reality game. So even the automobile industry is changing, right?
Yes.
When we come down to FMCG, right? Do you think it's going to impact brands that sell chocolates, chocolate milkshakes, soft drinks? How do you think that is going to be? Because that, I think, is an evergreen industry, right? Millennials like it, Gen Zeta like it, Gen Z like it, Gen Beta will like it, Gen Alpha will like it, tomorrow Gen Omega will like it. So do you think that's going to change?
It's a good question, because honestly, I think it won't much of an impact, because, like you said, there's a evergreen industry, like chocolates, everyone likes it. But again, because of the emphasis we have a lot of on sustainability, different kinds of consumerism, like vegan, all those
health conscious,
digital well-being, mental well-being, physical well-being, whatever well-being.
So wouldn't that be more on the millennials that we are, right? So if we are going into a healthy lifestyle and not having chocolates, Gen Beta, that are going to be our kids, are not going to have chocolates.
That's what. So we are the parents, right? So we are, we shape the kids. So when our kids are going to come up, obviously that influence will be there until and unless they start making their own decisions of how they want to have things. So till then, yes, our influence will be obviously there. So because we are also into such conscious consumerism, that impact will get translated into them.
Okay.
So we'll say that it will be like, maybe in their initial years of childhood, they will also follow the same thing till they, kick us out, kick us out and start making their own decisions. Yes, but even then I would say that chocolates and things would still stay relevant, because I strongly believe they will make adaptations, the brands will evolve to this particular generation, to serve this particular generation. That's what's been happening over the years. All the successful brands that have stayed over the generation, they stayed relevant because they know how to stay relevant.
Because the base product is the same, but the packaging will change.
Packaging will change.
It can come into a sci-fi packaging. It will have maybe blue colors, vibrant colors. It will have designs that are sci-fi based and stuff like that.
Yeah, or maybe to appeal. So what is there? We'll say sustainability a lot. In podcast and vegan, because that's what is relevant for a millennial generation. Well-being, right? Too much emphasis. I don't know why on well-being, but we are not doing anything about it. But yeah, so we are into that. So maybe something similar things might come up to them, and you target that. Obviously, to see.
Sounds good. Parvati, let's have a quick round of rapid fire questions, right?
Sure.
You've spoken a lot of Gen Beta, consumerism, economy, and stuff like that. So, first question, right? Let me shoot. What do you think will be the first app that Gen Beta will download?
Okay, that's pretty easy. It's like a baby monitor, AI baby monitor that might teach them Spanish.
AI baby monitor. Okay, AI baby monitor. Okay. What do you think Gen Beta will find most ridiculous about our generation?
We are still using thumbs to send text messages. Maybe they will be telepathically sending emojis.
Okay. What do you think is the biggest threat to Gen Beta?
Threat to Gen Beta. Climate change still exists, right?
Yes, it does. So, what we are leaving behind, right?
Yeah.
What our generations are leaving behind is going to be okay. What do you think will be the most guilty pleasure for Gen Beta? For us, it's maybe ice creams and chocolates. What do you think it's for them?
Reels of us dancing. What do you think if I ask you the same question?
Guilty pleasure. Okay. For me, I think it's going to be a quick trip to maybe Ibiza. they would just pack up and leave. Where they're working, they'll say, "Boss, I'm resigning. I'm going." Gone. The next flight, they're gone to Ibiza, maybe. We will be here sitting here thinking, how do we draft a mail? Now we put into ChatGPT for 5 days. We send it back. We copy paste it into our mailbox. And we'll be still thinking before we press send.
Yeah.
And that will go on.
Forget one basic thing.
Yeah.
Checking the bank balance,
whether
we can afford a trip to Ibiza.
That's something we'll keep doing constantly in between, right? Yeah.
Okay. So I have one question to you.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think will be the most prized possession?
Oh, okay. Gen Beta. I'm definitely going for something like Dogcoin, NFT, NFT of their, let's say, dog barking. That's something that's going to be there, I think, and Gen Beta is going to keep that as their most prized possession.
Okay, I don't think anything will be more accurate than that.
Okay, so that brings us to the wrap of the rapid fire session. To generally close off, Parvati, do you have any statements to Gen Beta and to the consumers listening to this podcast? Do you have any thoughts on final closing statements on Gen Beta?
Well, as days are going and we are becoming irrelevant, I hope the brands doesn't become irrelevant, still stay relevant in the future generation also. So that's all I have to say.
Sounds wonderful. I think that's it for us today, guys. Stay tuned for more episodes. Next episode, we'll be covering something about project management and stuff like that, which will be a little less terrifying and panicking than this, and more of a normal topic for brands and companies out there. Thank you.
Thank you.